So let's start with group number 5. Just because I knew that's right. I totally love it. Okay, can someone talk to me about what you all talked about in your group?
I'll do it.
Okay.
And stand up. I need to be able to see you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So we realized that there's always resources, and then there's always going to be problems no matter what social class you're in.
Yeah.
And then to be open-minded in different situations so that you don't feel stuck. And poverty is much more a large problem than we thought it was, and there's a lot more barriers than we thought. So.
Wonderful. So were you all surprised that when you started to identify these barriers that some of these were on here? Were there any that shocked you guys? No? Pretty much what you all were feeling all the way. Was this pretty universal? It's great to get that down. Because if I was a faculty member, I would say we've got it going on. And what do you mean we feel lost? We feel disconnected. Because this school does so many wonderful things to help connect people. So somewhere we need to develop some additional things to do that. Because you're ahead of the game of what most universities are, which is fantastic. So what's lacking and what can we do differently or add to? Okay, fantastic. Okay, group number 3.
What happened to 4?
I know. Group number 3. Group number 3.
You were ready. How so do you forget us?
I know.
Even though we already knew some of the hidden rules, it's still, really fascinating to analyze them and kind of go over the hidden rules because we know them, but we don't actually talk about them a lot.
Wow.
And then, thank you. And then just because we're young or we were considered young in some form or another, that we can always be helpful in a circle kind of way. You can apply the methods to college students, to high school students, the old, the young, the restless, whatever you want to call them. So
That's fantastic. So we had 2. How many people we have there?
5.
Wow. See what else you can come up with and think about it. Okay. Group number 1. Yeah. Make sure your voices are heard through the process. It's very important.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Ray, can you stand up?
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Okay, that we all have a better understanding of what poverty really is. We know how we can be a part of the community and the opportunities it has and how to help people. We also learned about the different resources we have and from being a part of the community. So.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's fantastic. That's great. Okay, so we're going on to group number 4. Forget about it. Group number 4. Who's doing the...
Oh, now I can go.
Yeah, now you get to.
Oh, jeez.
All right. This is like to sum up everything that we talked about, which is pretty much what everybody else said, is that there's always something that you can do regardless of the class. Like if you're upper, lower, or middle, there's always something you can do to help any upper, lower, or middle. Whether that's, anything, and there's always a struggle somewhere in some type of way, whether that's emotionally, mentally, physically, something. It's always something that you can do, which circles help because of the opportunities that are a lot available that we didn't know about before, but it's very open now. We are more understanding and more open-minded, and we also talked about how when we first viewed poverty, we didn't expect it to be that much. We thought more of just a financial side rather than anything else, but everything else that goes along with poverty is probably more important than just the financial side, or it's just as much as a problem or a struggle for the poverty that we don't realize, and we're all understanding to that now.
Wow. You did an excellent job. It was great.
It was worth waiting for.
Yes, great job. You all are doing great. Okay, thank you so very much. Okay, last but not least, we need group number 2.
Oh, thought we were done. We put
people can overcome poverty and be successful. And we put, the relationships one builds. And I think a really good one is everyone's struggles, like all the classes. I think that's, you think old money and new money, you're rich, what's the problem, but that is something I would have never thought of if we didn't have this class. And just breaking down what everything means, like our, the mental models and the lexicons, and I think that's important too.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You guys give yourself a round of applause. Because you have just now proven to me that you think differently than when you first came into this classroom. Raise your hand if you would agree to that statement. Yes. That is what we're talking about, is changing the way that you think and feel about something. And you're the one that's analyzing that and making those changes. So here's going to be my recommendation, that I think before Scott even gets going on his testimony and things like that, that is what is so impactful and so powering, is hearing what you've learned from this and how it's taken some things that you've learned and how you're applying that out in the real world and how you're applying that already. Is there anyone here that feels comfortable enough? I need about 2 people, maybe 3, who can represent the group's opinions here. Does anyone feel comfortable presenting to Scott Miller?
Write them down.
Yes.
No, I mean this. What? The people.
The ones. Yeah.
I mean, we get a little money and make
Yeah, I'm with you, sister. I'm with you. I would love it. Gonna have some built-in incentive to take that kind of pressure. Does anyone feel comfortable, first of all, doing it? Okay. Do you mind? Great. We need someone else. Do you mind? Great. Do you want to too? We now have 3. We now have our 2. Does anyone else want to? Because by all means, he would love to hear from you all. Okay. So we technically, who are we pointing to?
Oren.
Right here? Is there anyone else? You
want
want to, Bridget?
if needed.
I would love it. We now have 4. Anyone else? That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So those pieces of paper that you all have done, please make sure that you incorporate those. What you can do is, we have 5 teams, right? You'll need 1 more added to your group, and then you can kind of represent your team and the kind of those opinions. Does that sound good? Because I think we have one from all teams, except for this team here. So can you give your sheet of paper to Bridget and Jamal?
So who all volunteered to help? We need to get your names. Or just what?
Yeah.
Jamal. Is there another one right there behind you?
Can you give your input right here? And can team, is it 1?
Yeah, you
Give
get
your
a
input
pass.
right here. Can you do that, team 1?
Diamond
You have
wants.
team-
Diamond's in the rough over here.
You want to do it too?
Yep.
Okay. It will be. And I'm not going to have to pay you, right?
No, you ain't got to pay me. I just
It's
need
a
to come
good
to
thing. It's a good thing. You crack me up. That's good. Okay. Do you have the ability, just think about what it is, because I really want to spend the first 5 minutes or so, because there's going to be other faculty that are going to be hearing this. I'm going to be bringing in some people who are going to be hearing what's going on as well. So no. Yeah. So this is something that you do want to take a minute and think about it, but make sure not only are you reflecting your personal views, but make sure that you reflect the group that you were in as well. So make sure you incorporate, because you guys all said stuff that was just fantastic. And I think Scott's really going to want to hear this, and so is other people. They want to know, why is it so important to you? Sound good?
And I'm going to also give you another challenge to watch his TED video, which I'll post the link on our Facebook page before Wednesday, and come up with 2 questions from his video.
Yes.
Because then he'll know that you guys have been you've been paying attention.
Very good.
So that's beyond the pale of what we're doing here in class, that you're actually doing some research on him before he comes. That'll help you and him be more motivated to help out. Because we want him to be fully invested in this as we are invested in him, or maybe more than we are invested in him. I'm pretty sure he's invested in what he does. But do you think that there's people in his life that might waste his time? Yeah,
yes.
probably.
Yes.
So we don't want to be, we don't want him to unconsciously put us in that category. We want to show him how invested we are in what he's doing, and you can show that by researching him a little bit. Go on his website, movethemountain.org. I'll put all that on. I think I emailed it all to you already, but I'll put it on the Facebook page
And then
too.
you can look at his bio. You'll see mine. You'll see some other people's as well, because if you've got the top 4 people in the nation that are on that as well, and you can start to see. So you do have some really strong pull. You won me over. I will tell you that much. I love you guys, and so I cannot wait. You are the first people when he comes into town to sing right here. And our whole group, we've already sent word out to other people. There's other businessmen in the community that has heard what's going on here at OWU. I plug you everywhere I go. I'm going to tell you that right now because I'm so proud of the work that you guys are doing. So I look forward to it. You're going to love him. You will absolutely love him. He's about as real as they come. He's very funny, and he's very charismatic, and he is just passionate about what you guys are doing.
And you guys are going to be sitting down with President Dr. Piper, with other members of this organization to actually help impact some of the barriers that, I mean, literally I've had students crying in my classrooms talking about how it feels sometimes to be here. And it's not anything bad about OKWU because it's just the way the system is set up. Educational system creates pain.
And I'm going to have to remember it's OKWU.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for me. I'm gonna have to
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know why I found out they changed it? Because there is an East Coast
There is.
college with the same OWU.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it stands for, but it's not Wesleyan. But anyway.
Ohio Wesleyan.
Huh?
Ohio Wesleyan.
Ohio Wesleyan, yeah. So we had to change it because of legal
I
issues.
should have asked if they could
Yeah.
be OH.
Yeah.
W.
Try that one on for size. OHWU. Is there anything else?
I'm glad someone got in there. That's the news. You guys, see you Wednesday. Thank you so much. She's not.
I gotta take it. Let's try to do next week. Let's try to at least one meeting before spring break.
I will be in Ireland. I'll be in Ireland, yep. Going to Dublin.
Will you please make sure that Geisha is a part of
I'm going to talk about this.
Yeah, there's a pile there on the table, just over there. Yeah, give it to Ellen. Give it to Ellen. There's some more there, Allie, underneath things.
Stretched it up and
That one hasn't been assigned yet. Do you need the other one? Ray.
Came down with the flu.
Oh, she's got it. Never mind.
that's this week.
Yes.
I mean,
Every other semester, every fall. And it'll get unanimous
I've
credit.
been trying to build mine to
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, it hasn't been put on there yet, I guess.
at the same time.
I guess I could shut this off. So I